What is the purpose for art as a student? What is the purpose for art as an educator? As I was entering my undergraduate program as an industrial design major, I was creating art that was intended for production. The goals were perfection, clean lines, and a classroom full of students all reproducing the same drawing. While I see the real benefit in learning these skills, my heart was not in it. I was striving to create art that was about the process. I wanted to get messy and emotional and lay my heart out onto paper. Feeling this strong pull towards process and creativity, I quickly changed my focus from industrial design to art education and painting at Miami University. This was because I felt that I had spent high school learning to be an individual in the art world. I had established a style of painting that was recognizable in a lineup of other artists and unique to my own personal taste. I didn't want to end this exploration, and I wanted to help others find who they were as an artist. It was at this time that I took my first abstract painting class. This was not only my first college abstract painting class, but the first time that I had encountered abstract art. For any of you in the room that do know me, you know that I can be a little high-strung. This carried over into my art, and I was having trouble letting go. I was constantly fighting my professor, Michael Stillion, conceptually. He then threw me for a loop by encouraging me to pick up an oar and paint with it while standing 5 feet away from the canvas. The marks were aggressive and expressive and seemed to speak to a sort of anxiety. This is when it clicked. Painting could be unpredictable, and this painting was entirely about its own creation while still conveying a message. This painting was later described as my personality thrown onto a canvas. And while this wasn't what I had originally intended, it was a result of finding the mark making that worked for me. But I didn't want to stop there. I had found something in art, that its significance comes from how you choose to experience it, and that what I want to do in my future art room is help students experience art. I want to give them the tools to be creative thinkers and see where this takes them. Process is at the core of art education. Dennis Tobin, the ceramics professor here at Miami, once told me that we, as educators, are meant to be facilitators. We are passing the candle flame from one student to the next so that each person can create their own light. We are not going to have the same form of creativity, and what we put on paper will look different. We are not here to give students the answer, but instead, the ability to learn and foster the learning of others. I want you to think about the different disciplines that we teach children: sports, how to interact with one another, math, and even reading. When we teach kids how to play football, we don't expect them to win every game. But what is expected is improvement from the beginning of the season to the end. We also don't expect one star player to hold the team in a beginner's league. The children build each other up and they grow as a team. I believe that this should be true for art as well. Not every student is going to create an award-winning product. We shouldn't line up their work and judge them comparatively. But with the help of the right teacher, students should learn to think collaboratively and step outside of their comfort zones. We as teachers are helping them improve upon the knowledge they had yesterday through the process of art. This is not to say that the product is not an important component. The product helped in measuring growth, change over time, and an understanding of the concepts taught. The product is used in marketing and selling artwork, and there is room in the art room for projects that are geared towards product. These projects help students learn things like following directions and fine motor skills. But at the end of the day, I want every student to want to hang their work on display, regardless of the product, because they know that they have achieved something. When we teach students process before product, we allow for them to drive their own learning. I came face to face with driving my own learning in the same abstract art room that I told you about earlier. The project was to think of a canvas in a non-traditional way. We did not stretch the canvas, but instead draped the canvas on the wall. We were put into groups that each approached the canvas differently. Some groups dripped their paint. Other groups used only warm or cool colors. My group was struggling to come up with an original idea. What was a new method of application? I can't remember who came up with it, but someone decided to dip their feet in paint and walk across the canvas. Quickly, we all jumped in. It was a bonding experience that resulted in a camouflage-like pattern. We hadn't been getting anywhere with our hands, but this class taught us to try something new. That being creative could mean stepping outside of our comfort zones, literally. In this situation, we were forced to problem solve. And through process-based art, students have to plan what the result of the work will be, either individually or collaboratively. There are countless examples out there that tell us why process-based art is so important. And these examples range in their intention. Author Peter Reynolds often writes of the confidence that can be built through abstract art. A popular example of a Peter Reynolds work is the book The Dot. This book tells of a girl who was convinced that she could not draw, until with the help of her teacher, she discovered that exploring varying dots could create beautiful artwork. The girl not only gained confidence, but the voice to help other students by encouraging them to create unconventional forms of art. What I find so important about this book is that the teacher was simply a facilitator. She encouraged the student by giving her the tools she needed, hanging the girl's work above her desk, and providing a school art show where students could display their work in order to show that they were proud of what they had made. Author Peter Reynolds has sparked international participation with this book by encouraging people worldwide to make their mark through a holiday called Dot Day, a day that we participate in as art education students. Not only is the topic of finding your process being written about, though, but it's being put into action right here in the Oxford community through a program called Opening Minds Through Art, or OMA. This program provides trained volunteers who are paired with individuals with dementia in creating art. All of the projects created by OMA focus around abstract art. This allows the patients to become the artists, and a small aspect of life where every artist can be completely in control of their life. When I was learning about OMA, I interviewed graduate student and leader Eleni Bali. What Eleni was most excited to tell me about is that OMA has 4 criterion for determining if a project is suitable. The 4 criterion are: is the project suitable for all ability levels? Does the project have a surprise element? Does the project have significant layers? And does the project give the artist the power? I believe that we could put these 4 criterion into use in a number of classrooms by varying teachers and for all sorts of students in order to empower the students, keeping in mind that all work will turn out differently. Process-based art comes in a number of different forms. In my personal life, it comes in the form of abstract art, spilling paint and seeing where it takes me. In my teaching life, it comes in the form of teaching a number of different materials and methods and allowing the students to experiment. But I'm not here to give you an answer of what the process is. What I want you to walk away with is the understanding that art is not defined by one right or wrong answer. Its significance comes from the way that you choose to experience it. Art is a never-ending exploration of the world around us. It's always changing. Art is for everyone. And art would be nothing without the root of the process. Thank you.